I'm Deanne Woodard and I'm a real estate agent here at Sundgren Realty. I'm a wife of almost 29 years, a mom of almost 28 years, and a grandma for a little over 2 years to one sweet little girl and another baby along the way very soon. I was actually born and raised in El Dorado. I have pretty deep family ties, so did not want to move away from that. Otherwise, I'd probably be in Florida in the winter. I love spending time with my family and friends, just hanging out, doing whatever. Hanging out with my granddaughter is one of my favorite things to do. Just about anything outdoors. Summertime is my favorite season, so anything that can be done in the summer, swimming, just fishing, anything like that. Well, I was going to Butler out of high school. I'd been going there for a couple of years, and I knew I did not want the typical 9-to-5 job. And I was working for a local accountant, just happened to be right next door to Hand Realty, Tom Hand, the broker, who's in our office now. You know, we crossed paths a few times, and one day I just decided to go ahead and get my license, and I hung it with Hand Realty. That only lasted about a couple years, though. I wasn't successful. The timing just wasn't right. You know, it wasn't always the plan, and you know, after I had let my license go from Hand Realty, I hadn't really at the time planned to go back, but I believe it was in 2006, when my youngest was a year old, I decided to go ahead and get my license again. I didn't do much for a few years. It wasn't until about 4 years later that I decided to pursue this full-time. I do actually. My first client was my grandmother. I remember the house and everything. I don't remember a lot about the transaction because that was quite a while back, but I don't recall there being any huge issues or anything like that. It was a good experience and a good start. Again, just that no 2 days are the same. I like meeting new people, learning about them, seeing them fall in love with homes, and the atmosphere at work. I would say it's seeing them happy, running into them in town, and then telling me stories of what they've been doing. You know, I actually just had that happen yesterday. So I had been working with a client for quite a while. They were looking for a house on large acreage, about 100 acres or more, and they were getting kind of frustrated because they weren't finding anything. I did end up listing a property that pretty much matched most of what they were looking for, except for the location. I was worried that it was just going to be too far out for them. But I told them about it, and they went and looked at it, and they bought it. The rest is history. You know, and when I ran into him yesterday, he was just so happy and thankful that I helped them find that place. You know, and I brought 2 of my clients together with the same goal, and everyone was happy. And you know, at the time, I didn't know any of the Sundgrens, but I knew that they had a really good reputation in town, saw their signs everywhere. And you know, I did have a lot of options to choose from in El Dorado, but I did come interview with Sundgren Realty, and I did not interview with anybody else. I just decided right then and there that that's where I wanted to be. And you know, 20 years ago, I guess maybe I made the right choice because here I am. You know, it's a pretty laid back, family-centered environment. Everybody gets along, everybody supports each other. I do really enjoy coming here and the people that I work with. Their heart, integrity, you know, and I would say that one of my favorite things is just the support system in here, and everybody's willing to help each other out, and yeah, it's just pretty great. Hire an agent that's going to be ethical, honest with you, and work in your best interests. I would say some of the best agents you can find are referrals from your family or friends, you know, with agents they've worked with. If you don't know any local agents or have any family or friends locally, I would say interview a few agents before you decide who you're going to work with. What I like most about working with them is just the relationships that we form. You know, I keep in contact with so many of my clients over the years. I love running into them. I love seeing their stories, what's going on in their lives. You know, and when they send me their family and their friends as referrals, you know, it's just icing on the cake. What I hope they remember about me is that I help facilitate a smooth and stress-free transaction. You know, there's a lot of stress involved in buying or selling real estate, so that's not always possible, but you know, I do what I can to help alleviate that, and maybe I can detect issues that could come up before they do, to help protect them against that.